For 3 years, the AI boom relied on a remarkably cozy blueprint. It looked like a well-organized school project. Silicon Valley built the software. Big tech paid for lunch. Chip giants brought the supplies. And governments? They just sat at the cool table watching the tokens roll in. Well, that quiet consensus is now dead. It didn't just die, it immolated itself. In a span of just 7 days, 5 seismic shifts tore through the tech industry. We are talking about a massive circular chip financing deal that is making Wall Street nervous. We are seeing Microsoft and OpenAI enter a quiet operational decoupling. And Washington is no longer just inspecting chip crates. They have officially initiated direct, model-level export intervention, freezing code before it leaves the country. Disruption? This is the balkanization of intelligence. This is the briefing on why the global AI grid is about to fracture. We start with the chips, and a massive deal that exposes the desperate financial gymnastics driving this arms race. Advanced Micro Devices, better known as AMD, just signed a high-stakes, $5 billion mega agreement with Anthropic. AMD is making a substantial strategic equity investment in Anthropic. Reports suggest the phased injection is worth up to $5 billion. In return, Anthropic committed to purchasing up to 2 gigawatts of compute powered by AMD's next-generation Instinct MI450 accelerator chips. On the surface, it is a standard partnership. Look closer, and it reveals the strategy of circular financing. For years, Nvidia has held an absolute monopoly, capturing 80% of the GPU market. To challenge that grip, AMD isn't just selling chips. They are effectively venture capitalists, funding their own customers to buy their own chips. It's genius. It's dystopian. It ties AMD's entire balance sheet directly to the success of a single software lab. It is a massive high-stakes gamble for Wall Street. If Anthropic's models keep winning, AMD gains a gigawatt-scale foothold. If model economics collapse, both entities share a spectacular, mutual balance sheet shock. The message is clear: if you want to break Nvidia's stronghold, you have to become a bank for your own order book. While chipmakers are financing their buyers, the most lucrative marriage in tech history is in marriage counseling. Microsoft and OpenAI used to be an unstoppable tag team. Microsoft poured billions into OpenAI's research. OpenAI's models powered Microsoft's entire flagship Copilot empire, from Bing to PowerPoint. That dependence has met its abrupt end. Microsoft has officially rolled out its proprietary in-house MAI model family. Mustafa Suleyman, Microsoft's new AI chief, officially unveiled the stack. And in a silent operational shift, Microsoft has started stripping OpenAI's models out of its main high-volume applications, specifically Excel and Outlook, and replacing them entirely with its own stack. This isn't ideological, it's ruthlessly financial. Swapping third-party APIs for in-house silicon is not just a tweak. Every call routed to a partner was a tax on Satya Nadella's margins. By launching MAI, Microsoft is sending an unambiguous signal to Sam Altman. The initial phase of dependence is over. Big tech built the AI labs, but now that the cost of scale is biting, they are building their own walls and locking their partners out in the cold. As corporate alliances fray internally, governments are stepping onto the field and changing the entire sport. For 3 years, Washington acted like a hardware customs inspector. They focused almost exclusively on blocking high-end Nvidia GPUs from shipping to adversaries. But hardware controls leak. Shell companies and intermediaries found loopholes. Now, the Department of Commerce has crossed a dangerous and historic new threshold. They are initiating direct model-level export intervention. Under new regulatory moves, federal authorities have temporarily frozen international deployments for specific, unreleased frontier models. Reports confirm that U.S. commerce targeting focused immediately on Anthropic's new Fable and Mythos models. This marks the death of software frictionless expansion. Washington isn't just inspecting crates of silicon at the port anymore. They are reviewing lines of code and neural weights before deployment. For global enterprises, this is a total nightmare. A model released in California is no longer legally portable to Tokyo, Europe, or the Middle East without implicit government greenlights. Software is being nationalized. While Washington builds walls around closed-source software, Beijing is preparing to turn off the global open-source pipeline. For the past 18 months, Chinese labs like DeepSeek and Alibaba won over global software developers by doing what Silicon Valley hated. They released top-tier frontier-grade model weights completely open source. Millions of Western developers built their entire corporate infrastructure on Chinese architecture, specifically the dominant DeepSeek v4. That open-source pipeline is now on the chopping block. China's Ministry of Commerce summoned domestic AI executives, specifically from Alibaba and ByteDance, to consult on strict export bans for domestic open-weight models. Officials are alarmed that Western tech companies are downloading Chinese open weights to build commercial software without contributing a cent back to China's ecosystem. If enacted, repositories like Hugging Face will face strict geofencing, blocking foreign IP addresses from downloading updates. Thousands of businesses that abandon expensive US APIs for free Chinese weights could be left stranded overnight. The final shift isn't about policy or deals. It's about total shadow war espionage. While governments are building digital borders, the White House has formally accused Chinese developer Moonshot AI of a massive model heist. White House official Michael Kratsios publicly alleged that Moonshot systematically scraped and distilled Anthropic's flagship Claude model to train its competing open-source system, Kimi K3. But the espionage didn't stop at software. A parallel federal investigation simultaneously alleged that Moonshot AI successfully bypassed all export restrictions. Kratsios stated that investigators uncovered evidence showing Moonshot routed compute jobs through illicit server clusters in Thailand, and those clusters weren't powered by older chips. Kratsios alleges they were running on the restricted Nvidia Grace Blackwell GB300 hardware. It is a double strike on Western dominance, distilling Western software intelligence while tapping banned Western hardware through proxy servers. Nvidia has already responded, reportedly removing dozens of entities from its approved global distributor list. The boundary between competitive research and economic espionage has officially dissolved. Add up these 5 moments, and the broader picture is impossible to ignore. The early era of AI, defined by open collaboration, mega-partnerships, and unchecked global distribution, is officially over. In its place is a fragmented, volatile landscape, where chipmakers finance their buyers, where tech giants lock out their partners, where nation-states claim sovereignty over model weights, and where global superpowers fight dirty over black market silicon and stolen data. The technology is accelerating, but the grid is breaking apart. I'm Aladdin. This was The Brief.